Good morning, students. Welcome back to you all in online teaching session and to the new academic year 2021 to 2022. So, dear students, myself Miss Saili and I will be teaching you all the subject English. Students, I request you all to kindly get ready with your English textbook. So students, before starting with the beautiful poem, I would like to introduce you all with your index. So I request you all to have a glance on index. Now your index is divided into 4 parts: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 4. So students, today we'll begin with the Unit 1, Poem 1, 1.1, Past, Present, Future. So dear students, I request you all to kindly open your textbook page number 1 and get ready with pen, pencil in your hand. Page number 1, Unit 1, 1.1, Past, Present, Future. Written by the poetess Emily Bronte. So dear students, before beginning the poem, let's see more about the poetess Emily Bronte. So dear students, let's see the introduction of the poetess Emily Bronte. She was born in the year 1818 and she died in the year 1848. Emily Jane Bronte was an English novelist. She was best remembered for her novel Wuthering Heights. And she was born on 30th July 1818 in the village of Thornton in Yorkshire Moors. And Emily and her sisters were self-educated. In 1839, Emily with Charlotte travelled to Belgium. So, Emily Bronte and her sisters were well-known authors who lived in the 19th century. Emily Bronte uses nature to talk about her thoughts, feelings, and ideas in many of her poems. This poem about time. So, dear students, this poem Past, Present, Future is about time. The time is presented in the form of a dialogue between the poet and a happy child. So, the poem Unit 1, 1.1, Past, Present, Future, it is the poem which is presented in the form of a dialogue between the poet and a happy child. It is about the time and the time is presented in the form of a dialogue. For the child in the poem, the past was a pleasant time, but sadly we cannot go back to it. The present is a time when you prepare for the future, which is unknown but exciting. So dear students, now let's begin with the beautiful poem 1.1 Past, Present, Future. So students, we all know whatever the timing passed away, we called it, yes, give me the answer. We called it past. Very good. The time which is going on, we called it present. And the time which yet to come, we called it future. So let's begin with the beautiful poem Past, Present, Future, written by the poetess Emily Bronte. So dear students, before starting with the explanation part, first I will read the whole poem and then I will start with the explanation part. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. And what is the future, happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. So, dear students, the poem Past, Present, Future, here the time is presented in the form of dialogue between the poetess and a happy child, a smiling child. So, in this poem, the poetess Emily Bronte, she asks a happy child what the past, present and future looks like to him in different three stanzas. Three stanzas are given here. So, in those three stanzas, the poetess asks a happy child how the past, present and future looks like to him. And in an innocent manner, the child describes the nature that he associates with each of these time frames. Now let's begin with the first stanza. In the first stanza, tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. Thee, underline the word thee. Just underline the difficult words. The meaning of these difficult words I will send you all through WhatsApp. Now, thee means it is an old English word which means you. So, in the first stanza, the poetess asks to the happy child, to the smiling child, that how the past is like to him. So, the poetess asks to the happy child that how the past looks like to him. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. So, dear students, the past for the child, when the poetess asks to the happy child about the past. So, with the smiling face, the child answer to the poetess that an autumn, the past is like an autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Now autumn, students, autumn is a season before winter when trees lose their leaves. Autumn is a season. The season of fall, it is known as the season of fall, where all the leaves of the tree starts falling down. So, the innocent child answer to the poetess. The poetess asks the question, how is the past to him? So, he gives the answer to the poetess that it is like an autumn evening. Okay, the smiling child says that the past is like an autumn evening where the wind lets out a breath in grief. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Now underline the word sighs. Sighs means to let out a long breath slowly to express sadness. With a wind that sighs mournfully. Sigh means to let out a long breath slowly to express sadness. Mournfully, just underline the word mournfully. Mournfully means sad, very sad, unhappy. So the child gives the answer to the poetess that the past is like an autumn evening where the wind lets out a breath in grief. The past for the child is something that he remembers with a longing and a little sadness. The child tells to the poet that the past is like an autumn evening where he remembers with longing and a little sadness. The falling of leaves and the mournful sigh of the wind convey that. Now, dear students, the falling of leaves means the season of autumn, and the mournful sigh of the wind convey that the child is unhappy because the past has passed and he cannot go back to it. So, dear students, the past, we cannot go back to the past. Once it's gone, it's gone. We cannot hold over to the past. So, in the first stanza, the child expresses his feelings in an innocent manner. It describes its feelings through the nature that he is unhappy because the past has passed away and he cannot go back to it. Now let's proceed to the second stanza. Tell me what is the present hour, a green and flowery spray where a young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. Now, in the first stanza, the poetess asks the smiling child about his past. Now, in the second stanza, the poetess asks the child about his present. That tell me about the present hour. Now, the child reply to the poetess that the present hour, the child says that it's like the springtime. Now, spring is also an season, okay? So, the happy child says to the poetess that the present hour is like a green and flowery spray where a young bird sits gathering its power to mount and fly away. Now, mount means what? Just underline the word mount. Mount means, mount means to get on something, to climb. Mount means to get on something or to climb. So, dear students, when the poetess asks the child about the present hour, the child says that it is like a springtime with greenery and flowers all around, where a young bird on a branch of tree, you can see in the image, here the bird is shown. In front of the second stanza, one bird image is shown over there. Bird picture is shown where the bird is sitting on the branch of a tree and the bird is just learning to fly. So, the poet describes the present hour, that the present for the child is full of possibilities and something that he wants to take chances in. So, in present, the poet is gathering his strength and looking forward to head into the world. Now, the present is all about opportunities, possibilities, where we can do something, we can achieve something. So, for the happy child, the present is full of possibilities, full of opportunities, where he wants to take chances in. So, the happy child is gathering his strength like a bird because he wants to fly high away. Okay, like bird, where bird is gathering, young bird who sits and he is it is gathering all its power, all its strength. The bird is gathering all its strength to fly away high in the sky. So in the same manner, the happy child is gathering its strength and looking forward to head into the world. So dear students, I hope you have understood the first two stanzas. Now let's proceed towards the last stanza, the third stanza. And what is the future happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. Now here in the third stanza, the poetess asks about the future. The poetess asks the happy child about the future, that how is the future? It's a happy one? Question mark is there. So when the poetess asks about the future, the happy child says that the future is unknown. So dear students, for you all, for me, the future is unknown. We don't know what will happen in future. What will happen in few seconds? What will happen in the next hour? We don't know. We are totally unaware of it. We are totally unaware. The future is unknown. So the happy child says to the poetess that future is like a sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. So the happy child says that future is like the unknown, vast sea that has stretched far and wide under the bright sun. The happy child says to the poet that we cannot see the end of a sea, and the child associates this imaginary with future, that how we cannot see the end of the sea. We don't know the end of the sea. No one has seen the end of the sea because the sea is vast. Sea is vast, understood? So in the same manner, the happy child describes the future to the poetess that it is like the sea, which is how the sea is endless. So the future is also unknown. According to the child, the future is magnificent, exciting and mysterious. He is keen on exploring it. So dear students, the future for the happy child is infinite and full of possibilities, like a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea that has no end. So the sea has no end. So in the same manner, the happy child says the future is unknown. We don't know what will be there in future. We are totally unaware, and it's full of possibilities. It can be exciting, glorious, dazzling, like a sea that has no end. Dear students, I hope you have understood this beautiful poem. Now in the next lecture, we'll study the figures of speech of this poem. Till that, stay connected, stay safe.